Hey guys, you know, earlier today, or yesterday by the time you watch this, OTRS Central, aka the Schleg Daddy, or Jeff Shiegel, did a video asking if there was too much wrestling on TV now. And basically, the answer he put in the title bar was yes. Now, he didn't flat out say it was a bad thing, especially if you're a hardcore wrestling fan and you've been wanting alternatives to other promotions like WWE, if you will. Well, now you're going to get it. Now we're going to get it because the schedule goes like this. The scheduling's going like this. As of tonight or last night, when you watch this, we had Monday Night Raw, the season premiere, with a new look, new stage setting, a return of Pyro, a new announce team, and possibly a new feel to it, a fresh feel. Even though a lot might say that even though some of it was good, there were certain parts that kind of dragged it down. Then tomorrow night or tonight, depending on when you watch this, you will be getting wrestling from Impact. You'll be getting Impact Wrestling on Access TV. Now, I think they're supposed to be on Access by this week or next week or after Bound for Glory. I'm not really sure. Have to look it up. But they are going to be on Tuesday nights. Which also means, in my opinion, I haven't heard anything, but I still believe it means that even though they'll be on Tuesday nights on Access TV, that they will also still be on Twitch, because the truth is, just like with the Pursuit Channel situation, not everybody in the country has access to Access TV. That's the thing. That's why none of us can appreciate watching WoW and New Japan Pro Wrestling and all that. You know, we can't appreciate it. We can't. So, yeah. We can't appreciate New Japan Pro Wrestling or WoW any which way. We can't, because of the fact that not a lot of us have access to Access TV. But thankfully, Twitch will still hopefully be an alternative viewing spot for people that want to watch Impact Wrestling. Then Wednesday nights, of course, you have the Wednesday Night Wars, as we call it, or as Brian Zane puts it at Wrestling with Regret, the Wednesday Warfare. You have AEW and you have NXT. The only difference between the two, and I've mentioned this before, I believe, AEW is going to be live all across the board. We're not just talking live in one area and then pre-taped. No, we're talking live all over. So if they start at 8 o'clock, it's going to be 5 o'clock they start here. It'll end the discussion. Excuse me. Just had a bit of Pepsi. But yeah, that's how it's going to be. It's going to be, if they start at 8 o'clock, it's going to start at 5 o'clock. Everybody's watching it at the same time. Unlike NXT, well, NXT is going to show up at 8 o'clock no matter what. The only warfare it's going to have with AEW is during AEW's encore presentation, which I'm pretty sure they'll be doing back-to-back presentations of, especially on its premiere night. Now, Thursday, you get what's known as, I guess, Uncharted Territory. Some kind of reality show or something. I'm not really sure for wrestling. Then Friday night, you get Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. And then Saturday, you get WOW, New Japan, and from Being Sports, MLW. And if you can't get in like WOW and New Japan and even Impact, which are going to be part of Access or Access TV, if you don't have Being Sports, you can wait about a day or two later until it's on YouTube on Monday. And speaking of YouTube, YouTube is also going to be home to something else, because it was recently announced, and Jeff, you want to hear this, that the NWA is coming back. Yes, Billy Corgan is following through on his goal to bring back the NWA to its roots, go old school if you will, and the pictures and everything are up on the Twitter page from This Is the NWA Twitter, as well as the NWA Twitter page. But basically, NWA Power, that's what it's called. It's called NWA Power, is slated to debut. They did the first set of tapings tonight or last night, depending on when you watch this. I don't know what happened. I have not read anything yet. But NWA Power is slated to debut at 6:05 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. And this is 6:05 p.m. Eastern. And according to the report brought out and the press conference that Billy Corgan put on at the Hard Rock Cafe in Atlanta, it'll be 6:05 Eastern on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, and on the Facebook page simultaneously, which means everybody will get to watch it all at once. And basically that means if you live here on the West Coast, you'll be able to watch it at 3:05 p.m. And if not, you'll still be able to watch it, just like with MLW, you'll be able to watch it on demand at any time. It's free. It's free of charge. There's no paywalls, no nothing. As well, along with that, they made the announcement that the NWA is going to be holding a pay-per-view event in December. I think it's December 4th. They plan to hold one in Atlanta. Now, you add the end of... Now, in addition to that, they've also announced that Fight.tv will have the broadcast available on Saturday nights, kind of give you that old school Saturday night feeling to go along with it. As well as they do have pictures and everything. Like I said, This Is the NWA Podcast Twitter, the Twitter page for This Is the NWA Podcast, has pictures up of the studio that they're utilizing for this revival of the NWA, and it definitely has that old school NWA feel that you used to see when you would watch it as part of when it was known as World Championship Wrestling, NWA World Championship Wrestling. It has that old school feel. It has the flags of different countries. It has the studio setting where you have the big seat and everything, where you have the big set in the back where it says Power in the middle, and you have the two commentary seats. It's for the commentators. So, yeah. It's got all that. And the ring is old school NWA as well. So, yeah, it's got all that going for it. And the first tapings did complete again tonight or last night, depending on when you watch this. So, there's that. So, basically, to get to the point here, Jeff basically said that yes, there is too much wrestling on TV, and it could be a problem because it could oversaturate the market. It's like, everybody would... I think he mentioned something that people complained about WWE oversaturating the market with a lot of wrestling stuff and how that could have hurt it. in the long run, and now they're trying to fix their mistakes. You know, he brings that up because of the fact that now we're getting an oversaturation of wrestling, not just from WWE, but from different parts of the world and the U.S. You know, especially when it comes to television or streaming, if you will, on television. Because when you think about it, YouTube is available on all platforms, even on smart TVs. So that means, you could watch the NWA on television. But, and along with that, you have wrestling pay-per-views coming out of the Razoo. You have, of course, Hell in a Cell this month, this Sunday actually. You have, I think, was it Full Gear? I think that's what it's called, Full Gear for AEW in November. You have Saturday Night Super Fight for MLW in November, 2 weeks apart from each other, or a week apart from each other. You have Bound for Glory on the 20th of this month for Impact Wrestling. And then, like I said, on the 4th of December, you have the NWA event. So, I guess the response to Jeff's video and his topic discussion is there too much wrestling on TV? Yes, there is. Does it feel like it's becoming an oversaturation of wrestling? Yes, it does feel like that at times. But, Jeff, there's one thing you mentioned, and I am a little tired while I'm doing this. It's about 12:02 in the morning, Pacific time. Jeff, you are right. There is a lot of wrestling. It does feel like an overdose of wrestling. I'll put it that way. You get the idea. Like I said, I'm tired and everything while I'm doing this, but there is an overdose of wrestling right now across the board. But Jeff, as I was trying to say, you said it yourself. This gives people options now. And that's what a lot of people have been asking for. A lot of people want options. They want to see what is going to be the better product. And if they don't like what they see from WWE when it comes to SmackDown, Raw, 205, or maybe even NXT and NXT UK, they can tune into AEW and see what they have to offer with Dynamite. And if they don't like Dynamite and what AEW offers, guess what? They don't have to watch it. And if they have Access TV on their cable, or they have availability to maybe something like Twitch, they can check out what Impact has. And if they don't like what Impact has, heck, guess what? They can go back to the Access channel if they have it, and see what WOW has to offer, what New Japan has to offer. And if they don't like that, then guess what? If they have Bing Sports, they can see what MLW has to offer. Or if they don't have Bing Sports and they want to wait till Monday when it premieres on YouTube, on the MLW YouTube channel, they can check it out there to see what MLW has. And if they don't like what MLW has, they can check out the NWA on Tuesdays at 6:05 Eastern, 3:05 Pacific. And if they don't like what the NWA has to offer, then fine. They don't have to watch it all. They feel none of the wrestling options they got, give them what they want, they don't have to watch it all. Don't forget, they also have access to Twitch, some of the wrestling promotion channels on Twitch and on YouTube, and to see what alternatives they have. And if they don't find something there, then they don't have to watch anything at all. They can just say wrestling's not what it used to be anymore. I'm going to move on to something else. But that's why people are excited about this, Jeff. And you and I, being old school wrestling fans ourselves, guys that grew up in the 80s and the 90s, that lived through the Monday Night Wars, that saw the formation and grew and became fans ourselves of the NWO. became fans of the Attitude Era, became fans of DX. The thing is, we, more than anybody, should understand how excited not just the new generation of fans are, the hardcore fans are, but the old school fans, the fans that grew up on it like us, how excited they are with now wrestling being back in the forefront, and now there being more options than ever. Because, like I said, and even you said it, if one doesn't like what one promotion has to offer, or other promotions have to offer, they can go check out some of the other alternatives. Because eventually there'll be maybe 1, 2, 3, perhaps 4 promotions, depending on what they offer, that fans will probably invest in, and I wouldn't be surprised by that. I would say there's going to be 4 promotions out of all the options they have. And right now, those 4 promotions that I look at as being the major league option that fans are going to look at are these promotions. Now, I did forget to mention Ring of Honor. That's on the Sinclair Broadcasting Network, and it's going to be available more widely now because Sinclair's buying up some other stations and networks to where perhaps even in my area I'll be able to watch Ring of Honor. But the point is the 4 promotions at the forefront right now, the 4 promotions overall at the forefront right now that fans are going to look at and choose, that are doing the most to get that fan base behind them, to get the viewers behind them, are WWE with all of its brands. That includes 205 Live, NXT, and NXT UK, AEW, MLW, and Impact Wrestling. Those are the top 4 promotions fans are going to get behind. Yeah, they'll still get behind New Japan, no doubt. They'll still get behind Ring of Honor, no doubt. Wow, no doubt. But the thing is, the 4 that I just mentioned are going to be the 4 that fans get behind the most. The NWA, you could probably put in there and you'd have your top 5. So your top 5, if you want to go from your top 4 to a top 5, WWE, MLW, okay, Impact Wrestling, and NWA. Well, actually, that is a top 4, not a top 5. I'm kind of tired doing this. I'm going to get ready to lie down a little bit. But anyway, those are your top 4 promotions they're going to be viewing. MLW, WWE, everything involved with it. That includes the NXT brands and 205 Live. NWA and Impact Wrestling. Those are the promotions that are doing the best to get fans behind them, to get fans to support them. So in the long run, yes, is there an oversaturation of wrestling on television right now with all these different promotions? Yes. Is there an over-insaturation of wrestling on television and streaming platforms combined? Yes. But it opens the door, and as old school fans ourselves that grew up with this in the 80s and the 90s and all that, Jeff, like I said, we should understand and appreciate the fact that the new generation of fans, the hardcore fans, the casual fans, and even the old school fans like us should appreciate the fact that wrestling is given has been given a second chance at life, a second chance of existence, a second chance of being something like it once was. And again, you don't just have 3 options anymore. You have multiple options, and like I said, the 4 that are going to stand out, in my opinion, that fans are going to flock to: WWE and all the brands under its roof, MLW, Impact Wrestling, and the NWA. Oh yeah, and AEW. That's what I meant. So yeah, you got top 5. That's what I was trying to say. Like I said, I'm tired, as you can tell, but there's your top 5 wrestling promotions that fans are going to flock to. WWE, all its brands under its roof, including the NXT ones. AEW, MLW, Impact Wrestling, and the NWA. Those are going to be the top 5 fans flock to more than any other promotion. More than Ring of Honor, more than New Japan, more than AAA, more than Women of Wrestling, WOW, if you will, and any others. Those are going to be the top 5. Because those 5 promotions are doing what they can to get the wrestling fan base behind them and get the support from them. So if you want to look at the overall structure, you have multitude of promotions and territories doing whatever they can to get a piece of that pie, to get fans to flock to them, to have fans help them be the next big wrestling juggernaut. But in the end, it's a 5-way war. That's what it is. It's a 5-way war between WWE, AEW, NWA, Impact Wrestling, and MLW. That's what it is. It's a 5-way war between WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, NWA, and MLW. That's it. That is it. And you know what? One of them is going to stand tall in the end. And depending on how fans feel, they're going to choose. Fans are going to choose sides out of those 5 promotions. And you're going to have basically a 25% support of each promotion. 25% of the fan base, of the overall wrestling fan base, is going to support WWE. 25% is going to support AEW. 25% is going to support the NWA. 25% is going to support Impact Wrestling. And 25% is going to support MLW. That's the truth. That's the truth, and I think you, Jeff, and everybody else knows that. So yes, is there an oversaturation of wrestling right now on television and streaming combined? Absolutely. But we should appreciate it. We should respect and appreciate it, Jeff, as fans who grew up in a time where wrestling was hot. Now it's given another chance to be hot again. But anyway, that's just my response, guys, to OTRS Central's video on if there's too much wrestling on TV. But let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, and I'll talk to y'all later.